Hey guys, it's She Got Faith. Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing good. I hope last week for Mother's Day was great. I hope you guys got a little bitty break. So I'm really hoping that things are starting to change and just go back to like a regularly scheduled program. So I know we're all kind of feeling being on quarantine and COVID-19, the effects of it. So I'm really hoping that some of us are just getting ready to go back to a regularly scheduled program. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about what is loving me the way I love the world. So if you haven't already, go ahead and go to the website and check out today's blog, What Is Me Loving the World. I've been talking about self-love these last couple weeks in the blog, and sometimes the videos and vlogs not match up. Sometimes I create different things to talk about. But this week last week and this week I decided that I would match them up. But I just want to ask you guys a real quick question. What comes to mind when I say self-love? Just think about it for 1 second. I know when I first embarked on this journey, I thought about baths, I thought about smiles, unicorn and sunshine. And I think a lot of us, we get on Instagram, we get on Facebook, and we see all these people who post or follow their journey or something. It just looks real cute. And don't get me wrong, the end result can look like that, and you can look like that. So I'm not downplaying that. However, nobody rarely posts the ugly part. So the tears, the hard conversations, the things that actually goes into it. Because while baths and smiles and sunshine and nature is phenomenal, sometimes, majority of times, it's more than that. And so we have to really dig deep within ourselves to really figure out that self-journey process. So what is it actually? And I just wrote down a couple things that I can relate to. So I said it's saying no and sticking to it, having difficult conversations with certain people, taking a break from certain people, leaving a job, and investing in you. I think a lot of times we have issues with setting boundaries within ourselves and with other people. So I think really learning how to use the word no, because to some people that's a cuss word. So really using no and sticking to it. I think taking a break from certain people and having difficult conversations. There are some people in our life that we just really need to sit down and have a conversation with them, and we may need to cut them off. You may not permanently need to cut them off, but there definitely needs to be a break in between them, and having a difficult conversation of, this is how I'm feeling. When I talk to you, this is what happens. So I definitely think like that's the ugly part of self-love that we don't really talk about. Leaving a job. This is a difficult one because how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to live, right? But sometimes we stay in a job because of money, but we are so internally hurt. So like making that executive decision or making a plan, like maybe you don't quit the job now, but maybe you make a plan to move forward, but also too not basing everything off of your emotions. So this one is a difficult one, but it's definitely something that you can work through. Make a plan, make a list. One of the things that I really want to discuss, especially during this pandemic, is being creative in the self-love journey during this pandemic. Why is it even important? And I think in the time that we're in now, it's extremely important because of what we're going through. So at this point, living in the era of the pandemic, we have no choice but to get to know ourselves. We have no choice but to get to know the people that we live with. We have no choice but to sit in our room all day. We have no choice but to continue to take care of us. And like if you watch some of my earlier videos where I said Mother Nature needed a break and so did we, that's part of that. You are forced to get to know yourself. And for some people that's really uncomfortable. For some people that is like the end all be all. And at this point in time, we are forced to do this. So you have to be creative in learning who you are and loving who you are. Those of us who are grieving, those of us who have anxiety and depression during a pandemic, our schedules are off, our prayer life is off, our hobbies are off, we can't go outside like we used to, we're trying to figure out a schedule, we're trying to figure out a routine, and it's completely just failing. So we really have to be creative in what is self-love? What can I do on a day-to-day basis in these four walls? Basically doing the exact same thing every single day. What in the world can I do? So I have 4 things that you can do daily that I think are pretty simple. It doesn't take a lot of time and it doesn't take any money. So 1, I would like to tell you to look in the mirror and give yourself a compliment. So just every day, once a day, look in the mirror and say, you're beautiful. I'm worthy. I'm enough. Whatever your career is, I'm a bomb essential worker. I'm a bomb doctor. I'm a bomb young man or woman. Whatever it is, just give yourself 1 compliment a day. Just 1. Just look in the mirror and actually look. Like, get in the mirror, get close, notice your eyebrows, notice your facial features. Start to get familiar with yourself. That is going to be a really big thing in getting to love yourself. So definitely invest in that, and definitely just start once a day in the mirror. 2, invest in yourself. I've talked to a couple people and some of them are really, really thinking about going back to school. That ain't my thing, but that doesn't matter because I don't have to do it. But if you're serious, if you're sitting here during this pandemic and you're like, man, I'm going back to school, then fill out the paperwork. I've talked to a couple people and they have said I'm going to invest in a passport so after this I can travel. That is investing in you. It is a huge investment. I've talked to people who are investing in stocks and bonds. I've talked to people who started doing makeup tutorials via Zoom or Facebook Live. I've been talking to local business owners who started doing videos on YouTube, who started doing just different things, right? So I think just being creative and finding activities that allow you to invest in you. Me personally, I got my new iPad. I started coloring and I love it. I do it every day. It's very relaxing. So I color on my new iPad and I absolutely love it. I never thought I would be that woman. And here I am being that woman. 3, have those very hard conversations. Now is the time to not react off of emotion, but to sit down, especially if you're living with somebody you need to have a conversation with. I'm not in your life. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not quite sure what's happening, but be brave enough and love yourself enough to have those difficult conversations. It's going to get uncomfortable, but we have to stop being scared of the outcome and just do it. A lot of times we want to make plans and a lot of times we want to assume the worst when all you need to do is have the conversation. It may not even be as bad as you think it is. I had a friend who was telling me her supervisor is getting on her nerves. And so one day she calls me and she's like, I have this meeting in 10 minutes. I'm nervous. I said, well, you just got to breathe and you just got to have a conversation. She called me an hour later and was like, Lisa, why was that meeting so good? Like, I don't even have the anxiety no more. Like, we talked, we listened, we brainstormed. Like, nothing that I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And I told her because we hype ourselves up. We don't know the outcome. And that's the reality. We think we do because we think we know the person. So have those difficult conversations. And you know what? It may turn out ugly, but we can control how we react to that, and we can control what happens to it. We can control how it makes us feel, because we can turn that pain into craft. We can turn what we're going through into what builds us up. So we definitely need to keep that in mind. So having difficult conversations is uncomfortable, but it's something that needs to be had. And then 4, make the decision to love you the way you love the world. You have to make the decision. You have to say yes to you and no to everything else. You have to say yes to you and your desires, and you have to say yes to what fuels you. What is fueling your body? What type of energy does your body need? What is your body telling you? Your body talks to you. So what is it telling you that you need to do? This is a hard one too, because you have to dig deep within yourself. You have to start. We all have a foundation, and a lot of stuff gets piled up on that foundation. So we have to start going through so that we can get down to the root of it all. And it's hard and it's scary, and it's hard for us to be able to do it, because some of us are opening doors to those big, deep, dark secrets that almost killed us. We are opening doors to things that try to take us out. We are opening doors to things that we never discussed. But that is saying yes to us. There's other things you can do, like therapy, group work, support groups, and I'll talk a little bit about that later, probably next month. But for right now, these are just 4 practical things you can do at home during the 2020 pandemic. Guys, I am so happy that you're here. I just want to say I love you guys. I want you to love you the way you love the world and invest in you. Honor your mind, body, and soul. Have a great Sunday.